As you hit the play button on this video, you're about to embark on a sobering journey through the top 5 deadliest mass shootings in US history. These chilling incidents left a scar on the nation, and the mere thought of them is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. As we explore the details of each tragedy, we'll confront the harsh realities of how gun violence has affected innocent lives, from the young to the old and everywhere in between. Brace yourself for an emotional roller coaster as we delve into the haunting legacy of these massacres and discover what we can do as a society to prevent them from ever happening again. So let's begin from the tragic incident that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. Get ready to hear the chilling details of the deadliest mass shooting in modern US history, the tragic event that shook Las Vegas and left the nation stunned. On October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock executed a meticulously planned attack from a 32nd floor suite at the Mandalay Bay Hotel overlooking the Route 91 Harvest Festival. Using semi-automatic rifles modified with bump stocks, Paddock unleashed a hail of bullets into the crowd below, ruthlessly cutting down innocent concertgoers for a terrifying 10 minutes. In the end, 58 people lost their lives and 100 more were left injured, either by gunshots or in the frantic rush to escape the carnage. As authorities raced to apprehend the shooter, they discovered a macabre scene. Paddock had taken his own life before they could reach him. But the tragedy was far from over, as the Las Vegas shooting reignited a fierce national debate on gun control and the deadly consequences of unchecked firearm access. The use of bump stocks, which essentially allowed Paddock to fire at a machine gun-like rate, became a flashpoint for politicians and lawmakers, many of whom called for their banning in the aftermath of the shooting. Despite facing legal challenges and opposition from gun rights advocates, the Trump administration ultimately decided to outlaw bump stocks in March 2018. The legacy of the Las Vegas shooting is one that continues to haunt us today, reminding us of the devastating toll of gun violence and the urgent need for meaningful action. The next on our list is the Orlando, Florida shooting. It was supposed to be a night of celebration and freedom, a chance for people of all walks of life to come together and dance the night away. At Pulse, one of Orlando's hottest LGBT clubs, revelers from across the United States, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and beyond gathered to salsa, bachata, and let loose. But what started as a joyous occasion quickly turned into a nightmare. At 2:02 a.m., the first shots rang out, shattering the carefree atmosphere and plunging the club into chaos. An off-duty officer engaged the shooter in a gun battle, but the violence was far from over. As more people arrived and entered the club, the gunman continued his rampage, firing at victims who were already down on the floor and showing no mercy. Meanwhile, those who were fortunate enough to escape fled for their lives, while others cowered in bathrooms or played dead on the dance floor. The shooter was later identified as Omar Mateen, a self-proclaimed fighter for ISIS who had specifically targeted the LGBTQ+ community in his deadly assault. The toll was devastating, 49 people killed and dozens more injured, many of them young and vibrant individuals who had simply wanted to celebrate their individuality. The attack sent shockwaves throughout the country, sparking renewed calls for action to prevent such tragedies from ever happening again. But for the families and friends of those lost, the pain and heartbreak of that terrible night will never truly go away. Number 3, Blacksburg, Virginia Tech shooting. At 7:15 a.m. on April 16th, Cho, a senior at Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University in Blacksburg and an English student, opened fire on a school residence, killing a female freshman and a male resident assistant. The police arrived quickly and, thinking it was an isolated domestic violence event, originally investigated the female victim's boyfriend as a suspect. However, at 9:40 a.m., Cho entered a classroom building.
Leave this room until you're told, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Keep your heads up, we'll take care of you, promise.
Chained and locked many of the main doors, and proceeded from room to room, shooting people with a 9mm handgun, a .22 caliber handgun, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. About 10 minutes into the shooting spree, he shot himself in the head. 32 individuals were killed and over a dozen were injured in the incident. The atrocity claimed the lives of 27 kids and 5 teachers. On April 18th, 2 days after the first shooting, NBC News received a package from Cho that had been postmarked in Virginia, indicating that it had been mailed between the first and second shootings. Cho's ranting video tirade, in which he rants about wealthy brats, was included in the box along with photographs of him holding a gun. Cho, who was born in South Korea and came to the United States with his family in 1992, was not discovered to have targeted any of the people he killed at Virginia Tech. Cho's background of mental illness became public knowledge after it was reported that he was a social outcast in school. Before the April 16th incidents, it was also learned that Cho had caused worry among several of his professors and classmates with angry, violent writings he had prepared for some class assignments. After Cho had already killed 2 people at Virginia Tech, the university was fined by the U.S. Department of Education in 2011. Number 4. Newtown, Connecticut shooting. On a quiet December morning in 2012, the sleepy town of Newtown, Connecticut was forever changed by one of the most horrific shootings in American history. At just 20 years old, Adam Lanza took the lives of 27 people, including 20 young children, in a chilling display of violence at Sandy Hook Elementary School. It began with Lanza's own mother, who he shot and killed with a .22 caliber rifle before driving her car to the elementary school just 5 miles away. When he arrived, he found the front entrance locked, but instead of giving up, he opened fire, drawing the attention of Principal Hochsprung and psychologist Scherlech. The scene quickly descended into chaos as Lanza unleashed his rage on anyone in his path. Despite the heroic efforts of emergency personnel and law enforcement, the shooting lasted just 11 minutes before Lanza turned the gun on himself. In that short span of time, 27 innocent lives were lost and a community was left reeling from the devastation. The tragedy sparked a nationwide conversation on gun regulation and the prevention of mass shootings. It also shone a light on the issue of mental health and the need to provide better support for those who are struggling. President Obama himself gave a moving speech in the aftermath, urging all Americans to come together and take action to prevent future tragedies like Sandy Hook. The pain of that day will never fully go away, but through our collective efforts to address the underlying issues, we can honor the memories of those lost and work towards a brighter, safer future for us all. And finally, the Sutherland Springs, Texas shooting. It was a day that will forever be etched in the memories of the people of Sutherland Springs, Texas. On November 5th, 2017, the peaceful Sunday morning service at the First Baptist Church was violently shattered by a shooting massacre that left the community reeling. Devin Patrick Kelly, a 26-year-old with a deadly agenda, stormed into the church wielding a Ruger AR-556 semi-automatic weapon. With no regard for the innocent lives around him, Kelly unleashed a hail of bullets that claimed the lives of 26 people and left 20 others wounded, including innocent children and elderly worshippers. The sheer terror of the tragedy was amplified by the fact that the victims' ages ranged from just 18 months to 77 years old. Among the slain were the pastor's daughter and her pregnant child, a heart-wrenching reminder of the indiscriminate cruelty of the attack. In the aftermath of the shooting, Kelly fled the scene, but the tenacity of the community ensured he didn't get far. They chased him down, forcing him to crash his vehicle. Kelly, cornered and without escape, ended his own life with a bullet to the head. The shooting at Sutherland Springs was a grim milestone, the deadliest in the history of house of worship shootings in the United States and one of the worst mass shootings in Texas history. It was a wake-up call for the nation, highlighting the urgent need for stricter gun control laws and greater attention to mental health. But as we reflect on this tragedy, let us also remember the lives lost and the families forever impacted by this senseless act of violence. We stand with them in solidarity and vow to work towards a safer, more peaceful future for all. Thanks for tuning in today. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos. Until next time, stay safe.